The grass is always greener on the other side. Popular saying, and sometimes it's true. Like LeBron James, he won not 6 championships, but like 2 after he left Cleveland.
One or two.
Aleister Black, he tested that theory in 2021, leaving WWE for AEW. Was it greener there though? He almost went a year and a half without a singles match. They gave him his own stable, but the dude's been overshadowed for sure by 2 people, Julia Hart and Brody King. You could argue he's been overshadowed by Buddy Matthews. So that brings us to this episode. Before we break down if the grass would be greener for Aleister Black if he went to back to WWE. Oh shit! I'm already assuming he's going back to WWE, calling him Aleister Black because he's Malakaki Black right now.
Yeah.
But before we get to fantasy booking a return to WWE, whether or not it would be greener there than AEW, make sure you black mask that like button if you want to see Malakaki Black transform back into Aleister Black and go to WWE. All right, I'm gonna tag my partner in now. Do you think it would be better for him to leave AEW and go back to WWE? Also, do you think it would be greener for him this time in WWE? Like, would it be better for him in WWE this run?
Yeah. Yeah, to both questions. I think it's better for him in WWE than AEW, and I think it'll be better this time around, and that's one big reason is there's a regime change in WWE. Like, I don't think there's going to be a change in the power structure of AEW for a long time, where, Vince has left by no choice of his own. We all know that. But, Triple H is in charge now. I think Triple H is a fan of Aleister Black, and I think he would be excited to have him back, and I think he would do right by him. And also, you talked about him being overshadowed in his own stable, which is true, I think. And I think him leaving also helps the stable. I think you can transition Julia Hart into the leader of the stable and make her like this evil mistress. And then Brody and Buddy can kind of be her, like, hulking manservant / henchman. And then it works for Brody and Buddy because they can just focus on the tag team division. You don't have to get thrown into these trios matches or 6-man tags that they're always mixing the House of Black into.
Also, not to interrupt, but you made a good point with Julia Hart. I see a lot of fanfare on the internet for her, and this idea of her leading this stable House of Black, I mean, I don't want to say that it would be a ripoff of Judgment Day, but why not give her that chance to get a Rhea Ripley run? Like,
Yeah.
it works extremely well for WWE. AEW's like really shit right now, so why not try to catch lightning in the bottle and let Julia Hart lead House of Black and see if you don't, boom, get a ratings
I feel
draw.
like she's the leader now. I mean, like, her entrance is cool. She's the only one with a title belt in the group. So I feel like she's got the hot hand and she's kind of the leader right now. And so just get rid of Black anyway and let her stay the leader. And if you're worried about calling it the House of Black, the Blackpool Combat Club's still the Blackpool Combat Club, and the guy from Blackpool left. So clearly they don't care about stuff like that. But I thought of a good idea for Aleister Black's return to WWE. And I think it'd be a cool feud with, like, some good TV and matches could come from it, and that would be with Karrion Kross and his group. That's called The Final Testament, I believe. And it's almost like a rip-off of the movie The Crow, but you're not going to rip it off like Sting in the NWO thing where he's just wearing the crow face paint, standing up in the rafters brooding about stuff for a year. In the movie The Crow, this gang beats down this guy and his girlfriend. They kill him, leave him for dead, and this guy comes back from the dead and wants revenge. So that's kind of what, if you had the whole idea is I would have Aleister Black return with different entrance music and a different entrance, and everyone's gonna shit on that right away because they like the old music and the old entrance. But let like Karrion Kross try to get him to join his group, and let him keep kind of saying no and turning him down. Eventually, they beat him down and leave him for dead. And then when he comes back with that entrance where he raises up essentially from the dead. You give him his music back. So you do the new music and entrance as part of the storyline. So it's going to piss the fans off so that when you give him the original one, they're going to pop huge for it.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get your Eric Draven back from the dead and let him take out the final testament. And then I would love it to end in a fight pit. Like, let's just lock him and Karrion Kross in this fight pit. And I feel like that a good feud like that could get Karrion Kross to that next level as well. So that's kind of where I'm hoping Aleister Black ends up, but we'll see.
I think that would be a great way to reintroduce Black into WWE. I love the idea of holding off on that entrance.
Yeah.
And then you get that pop.
Yeah.
Fight pit. I love fight pit. I feel like it should be the new Hell in the Cell where when you have this blood feud, that's where you settle it.
Yeah.
I think Kross and Black would tear their house down in a fight pit. They both have that mixed martial arts background.
Yeah.
I also love the idea you touched on the Crow, but just Black going ham on Authors of Pain because they're these two big muscle heads, and then Black just picking them apart tactically would just be sick. And it's a good way to elevate him as this badass where he destroys those two hulking brutes, and then in Fight Pit he takes out Kross.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking about it. The Crow, he picks off the gang one by one till he gets to the leader, and then they kind of have this epic fight. So it's the same thing, like pick them off one by one. Paul Ellering could be the guy that goes running off, screaming, crying to the leader. And then also in the Crow, they had an evil bitch woman, so Scarlett's an evil bitch woman. But I also like this thought that when he turns down the group for the last time, you could just have Scarlett turn that hourglass. That was cool when they did that when they came back to Roman, and we never got anything from that. So let them do it here, and actually, we get the payoff where they do beat down Aleister Black.
I also like it for giving Karrion Kross something big because I think he is actually special. I know that he's meandering in a lot of ways.
Right now.
Yeah,
he needs something. I think the group's cool, and I think it could work, especially if you make it this doomsday cult where like Armageddon's coming and we're the ones chosen to survive type of thing. But I think if you gave him Aleister Black, and it's a motivated Aleister Black, and you put him in the fight pit and you let them kind of unleash on each other, I think it would bring out like the monster in the fight and Karrion Kross, and then vice versa with Black.
And anytime you get a good storyline in the mid card, I always love because it makes you actually engage in the whole show. Because obviously you're always going to be engaged in the main event. If you do a good storyline like this in the mid card, it makes the whole show actually feel like a good show.
Yeah.
All right. So in the comments, let us know your views on how you would fantasy book Malakaki Black, Aleister Black, if he returns to WWE, and whether or not you think that he should go back to WWE. It looks like, by all reports, he is going. So let us know in the views if you think that is the right choice for him, if it is going to be, the grass is going to be greener back in WWE.